I think planning is in danger of being dead, and one of the big reasons is because planning has been around since 1968, and it was born out of a real kind of point of making advertising much more effective. But in today's world, there are much more channels, and there's been a lot more fragmentation in terms of planning. So planning has lost its power. It's become absolutely hyper-fragmented, and there's a danger that it's lost its power for clients, and it's got to recreate that and help clients lead their brands, because marketers are behind where consumers need their brands to be right now. So there's a massive gap and an opportunity for planning to step in. I think planning in lots of agencies is powerful, but there's a lot of generic planning out there, and things like Google, people are finding very generic insights online and stuff, and that's really bastardized what planning is about. And planning's got to get back into understanding real consumers again and bringing all the channel data. We hear a lot about data nowadays, but actually that can distract from planning itself if it's too minor and too small. I think that the planner's job is to bring all that together and help clients really game change for their brands, as opposed to just operate within a box. The days of operating within a box, filling a brief, taking that to creative and playing it back, that's too small a role for planning. I think planning has become really compartmentalized, and because of fragmentation, that's really destroyed its real power. I suppose the whole theme of, and what we're hearing in Cannes this week, is the whole theme of consumer and the blurring of lines between content and communication and entertainment indeed, which we heard yesterday from Beats and RGA. So culture is operating at a force that planning now has a bigger role to play, that interface, or what I call that intersection between culture, the consumer and the channel. And I think before, planning probably played a role between consumer and the cultural point, but now I think that merge between culture and channel is really emerging as people embrace technology, and their behaviour has been, landscape for their behaviour has been massively changed, and that's really where planning has to deconstruct, but understand how the brand model can play in that place, as opposed to just how to communicate in that place. You've got to go out, talk to consumers, talk to the right consumer, and get behind that insight, and that cultural context, the context of how they consume it, is really important. And I think at the end of the day, we have to remember we're in a people business. We're not in a technology business. Planning is about people and about how people operate in their environment, and we've got to keep that really simple and pure. The wrong thing to do, like it used to be digital, now it's social, then it's content, and now it's data. So we've gone through all that cycle. So data is the new sexy kind of weapon, and the obvious thing we set up at data, as you said, listening posts, and yes, you can do that, but that's just science. It's just one part of the equation. It doesn't, I think it really doesn't understand the question of why people do things. It says what they do, and there's lots of what and what if out there. I think planners' role is to really take that, but understand what's behind that, and what's the why, what's that core human driver. And the data helps that. We've seen some great cases this week from some other planning agencies where they've used small data to really understand how to change behaviour and disrupt it, but it's not really stepping back and looking at the big picture and understanding what role can the brand play in consumers' life, and then fulfill it via the channels. So I think there's a bigger job to be done that planners have to really step into, otherwise we're going to lose our potential in this whole equation.